So let's see. I think we have, well, we have everybody but 2 people, but let's start. So let's go back to last week. Questions on Dalid, Kuf, Sadiq, Vav. Any questions on those? Okay.
When you did your review of the lessons and put them on, recorded them for us, you used Hashem. Can we use Adonai? I thought they were okay.
You could do
Did
either
you
or.
use Hashem for a particular reason?
I used it because
You're not supposed
when
to
you're
say it
not
for-
saying the prayer, you're not supposed to take God's name in vain. So I did it that way.
Okay.
But when you say it, when you say it to light candles and to whatever you say, Adonai.
Okay.
So. Okay, so we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna learn 3 letters. It's gonna be 3 pages today. It might be a little quick, but I don't think we want to learn more than 3 letters, especially since some of them look like others, and I don't want to confuse you. So page 37. Is Gimel, and it has a G sound. Now this Gimel looks a little bit like a nun, right? But the Gimel is like, you know, she's female, she's wearing heels, right? She's got a little heels or a tail or however you want to think about it. And that's the difference between the Gimel and the nun, is that the Gimel's wearing a heel. Okay. So I'll start line 1. Ga, ga, ge, gay, gay, gi, gi, goo, goo, go, go. All right. Jamie, line 2.
Go, go, go,
Go ye.
go ye.
Right? That's
Go
the
ye.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, is there something under the Gimel in the
Yeah.
third?
Yeah.
No. Go ye. You
Yeah.
have to pronounce the yud in the
Yud.
third one.
Okay.
Why is it
Ye.
there? I don't understand why it's there.
I have someone at my door, so catch me on the.
Okay, that's fine. It's goy. You have to pronounce the
goy.
Y, the yud,
Okay.
goy.
So there's
Okay.
no ye. There's no ye sound.
No, there's no E, it's goy.
Boy, got it.
Okay, I'll finish it up. Gadol, Gil, Gula. Okay. Judy Schwartz, line 3.
Gal, gali, 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 galiyad, galiyal,
Galil.
gali. So that's just the yeah.
Right. So when you have the E, one of the things we learned early on is the E vowel. When it's with a yud, it's the same thing. It's just E. So if that was just Gimel Lamed with the dot and a Lamed, it would be the same thing, Galil.
Galil, okay. Goel, yeah, Goel. And gula. Geula.
You got it. Remember when the schvaz at the beginning of the word, we utter a sound there. Geula.
What does that have a meaning?
Yeah, it does, but you're going to ask me and I don't know.
That's okay.
I'll have to look it up, but
It's
geula
okay.
is a word. I'll have to Google translate it.
Don't worry.
So, but I'll do that while somebody else is reading. I'll sign on to my Google Translate. Marcy, line 4.
Gil, Gila, Ger, God, no, Gog, is that right?
Mhm.
Gog, Gon, Gum, uh, Gavia.
Gavia. Now I know what Gavia mean. That's a cone, like an ice cream cone is a Gavia. The important food words I really know. I'm kidding. But I do know that one. And then just the third word over, the third word in was, you said ger. I just wanted to make sure that we're making a difference between the and the a. This one's an a, so it's like ger, right? But when you say it fast, it sounds the same as if you said So I wasn't sure what you said, but I just wanted to say that for everybody. All right, Karen, welcome. Are you ready? Or do you want to read today or you want to skip? Okay, we're going to
I'll
skip Karen.
try.
Oh, I have two Karens. That was Karen N. I'm sorry. I forgot I have
Oh.
two Karens. All right. Linda, let's go to you, line 5.
Okay. Nagila, no, Noi,
That's goy.
Sorry.
Goy, Gadol, Gadula, Yigdal, Yeet, Gadal.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. Anne, line 6.
Okay, I've been gone a couple weeks, but I will try.
All right. And if you struggle, we're good.
Okay. Go ale, go leo, go ga ola,
Geula.
get ula. Okay.
Okay. So I just looked it up. Geula means redemption or salvation. That's why I couldn't remember what it was. I remembered it was a word, but you'll hear it a lot in prayers, right? When we talk about prayer for our country and things like that, we talk about redemption and salvation and that sort of thing. So that's probably why it's familiar. All right. Sammy, you also have been away for a couple weeks. So do you want to try line 7?
Sure. Yes. Latate. Gedula.
Yep.
Gedula. See?
Yes. You got it. You got it.
Leula. No. Sit. There.
Leyotzer. So if we
Leyotzer.
break this, the long words are hard. So if we break this one up, that the lamed is 1, le, then the next 2 characters, yo, and the last 2, tser. Leyotzer.
There. Bere sheet. Bereshit.
Bereshit. So if I read that line, latet gedula leyotzer bereshit, does that sound familiar to anybody? That's from the Aleinu. Okay. Okay. Karen F, line 8.
Vaho, Eli, Go, Ali, No, gnome,
That's the.
that, Vaim,
You got it.
Ga, T.
That's a hard one. So let's split that one up also. The first letter is ge,
Yeah.
then V,
V,
ya, T.
T,
Geviyati,
Gaviyati.
right? So that also is Vehu Eli. There's another couple of words. Go Ali,
Li,
Ve'im, Geviyati. That's from Adon Olam. They're trying to now start to give you some phrases that you might recognize, that you might know from the prayer book. So, okay. Mariella, did you want to read today?
No, thank you.
Okay,
I pass. I am listening carefully.
no
but
worries. No
Yes.
worries. Okay. Jamie, we're going to come back to you, line 9.
Okay. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemay Rabbah.
Perfect.
That's from
And
the
that's
Kaddish.
the beginning of the Kaddish. So, so there we go. We got it. And they're showing you at the very bottom the word Geffen. That's what we're going to learn next. They're giving you a foreshadowing of what we're going to learn next. The word Geffen is part of the Kiddush, right? Borei Priya Gafen, Geffen. So Gimel looks a little like a nun. You can get confused. So just be conscious of that when we do that. They did not give us words that have both a Gimel and a nun in it. Why, I don't know. I'm not going to go looking for it now.
So like the Gimel has the heel, the Nun has the base, and the Vav has nothing on the bottom, but they're all kind of the same height on the top.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then the
Yeah,
Rosh has like a
half
long
on the
Vav
top. Right.
half. Okay.
Exactly.
Excuse me, are we on page 38?
We're going to be right now. We're turning to page 38, unless anybody has any more questions on 37. Okay. Page 38. This letter is F, like our F. Okay. They're giving it as a PH. I don't know, but that's okay. That says the same thing, I guess, in English.
Is that the name of the letter?
The letter is Fay. F-A-Y or P-H-A-Y, however we want to say it. It's the letter Fay. So I will do line 1 and line 2 because they're all pretty repetitive, but just to give you an idea. Fee, fee, fay, fay, fe, fa, fa, fo, fo, foo, foo. And line 2 is fe, 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 ga, 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 fen, geffen, geffen, ha, gaffen.
One.
Okay. Sammy, you want to try line 3?
Zafan? No, Zafar.
Ah,
Or is that
afar. That's an
oh,
I.
that's okay.
right?
I was thinking it was a set. Afar,
Uh-huh.
fair, leg, fa, na, narv,
Nav.
yar,
Lefanav.
nav. Okay, T, teeth, ra,
Perfect.
teeth, a, ret,
Hmm.
teeth, ro, c.
There you go. So you see the in the tzaddik in the last word and the ayin in the first word in that line. That's the difference.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like I think last week I had said that tzaddik leans forward, like, and has something coming out of its back, and the ayin kind of lays there with its feet up, or its feet, you know.
I know. I think I need to run and get my glasses on.
No worries, no worries.
Be right back.
Okay. Okay.
Do that
And
line
line-
again. Can you
Yeah,
do that line
question.
again?
that line, afar, hafer, lefanav, tifara, tiferet, tifrotzi. All right, and line 4.
Anav. Yes, okay. The care ma.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that first letter's a nun. Ne,
Ne.
kad, that's a dalid. Ma, ne kad ma.
Okay, got it. Ba, bavar, babav,
Panav.
banav.
Oh, fanav, sorry. Fanav.
Banav, sorry. Ba, torat.
Toda.
Yeah.
So that it's tricky. The Dalit and the Resh look the same without the little hat or whatever you want to call it. And the Nun and the Vav are the same. So that one's Nekadma, Fanav, Betoda. That's part of Kabbalat Shabbat, one of the Psalms. Okay, Linda, line 5.
Tifara, Vihu, Yia, Betifara.
Perfect. Marcy, line 6.
Tiferet, Lasham, Ultiferet, Valit, Valitila.
Right. That first word is l'shem. L'shem, again, I don't know if the R or the A with your accent or whatever is what I'm hearing. L'shem u'letiferet velitila. That's part of l'chadodi. All right, Judy Schwartz, line 7.
Okay. Gar. Gar.
Ba.
Is that an iron? That's an iron, right?
That's an ayin.
Okay. Garo. Garo.
Pharaoh. Pharaoh.
Gar. Say it again.
Pharaoh.
Oh, Pharaoh. Okay. Unkama. Ba wrote.
Row.
No, wrote. Row.
Row. You got it. Un kama befaro. That's also a phrase from Kabbalat Shabbat. Okay. Where are we? Karen F, line 8.
Line A. Okay. Naga, gun, haga, phone,
Then
fen, bora, haga, phone, fen.
right. So that's Geffen, Hagafen, Bore, Hagafen. Okay. Jamie, line 9. Oh,
Gof.
sorry. Before we go to line 9,
I just read
there's
above it.
another letter. I didn't realize there's another letter here. Ugh. So the final, there's 5 letters that have Sophie to final, where it's different at the final than it is in the middle. And this is one of them. It's a fe. So if you look at that first word on line 9, it's goof. Now that can sometimes, again, remember the chaf Sophie doesn't have that little nose in the front. It's just the line across and the line down. That's the chaf Sophie. but the Fe has this little nose. Which kind of looks like the nose of the Fe as well. If you took a chaf and put a little nose on it. So it kind of matches that, if you can remember that, or if that strikes anything for you. Okay, Jamie, line 9 with the new letter.
Okay. Goof, Ain, Lo, Demut, Hagoof, Ve'e, no, Goof.
Goof, right? So that's another one you should recognize. Well, you might. Ein lo demut haguf ve'eno goof. That's in Yigdal, Friday night in Yigdal. So if you don't go Friday night, you're not going to know that one. That's why I said you should, but then I'm like, oh, but if you don't go Friday night, you won't know, because we don't say Yigdal really any other time than Friday night. So, okay. Are we comfortable with this letter? We're learning a lot of letters today, and I feel bad about that. But I think we can handle one more letter, even though it's similar to one of the letters we learned today. So I hope it doesn't confuse you, but we'll go there. Page 39. When there's a dot in the middle of it, it's a P. Okay, so you have F when it's not a dot in the middle, and P when it is. Okay, so line 1 and 2 are reviewing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first one on line 1, then the first one on line 2. So I'm going to go down, 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 so you could see the difference. Okay. Fee, P, fee, P, fay, pay, fay, pay, fe, pe, fa, pa, fa, pa, fo, po, fo, po, foo, poo, foo, poo. So that is the difference between the two. Okay. Okay. Line 3, Sammy, can you handle that one? Let's see if we
Yes.
can do that. Okay.
Bapi.
Mhm.
Bapi. Share.
Uh-huh.
Niche. Ba. Let's see. Is that soundless in the middle there? The
Soundless,
I?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Okay. Okay. Niche. But T.
Yes.
Bea. Bay. No. Beape. Beapi. Beapi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Now,
wanted to say PH sound. Beapi.
it's hard. It's hard. That silent ein, because there's a silent letter with a silent vowel underneath, right? So you want to say it's a syllable stopper, but what's it stopping, right? So nish ba ti, right? You will hear the Sephardic kind of pronounce that ein with a guttural, so they'll say nishbati, right? They'll do that. So you might hear that. But it's silent as far as we're concerned. So, okay. And line 4.
C.
Was that, that's a resh, part C, right?
Oh, sorry. I did a,
I wasn't sure.
yeah, I did the wrong letter. Part C. Al. Ad. Ish. Bain. Partsi.
Yep. Al yad ish bein partsi. That is part of Lachado D also. Okay. Linda, line 5.
Panay, Shabbat, Nikabla.
There you go. That's
Nikabla.
also part of Lachado D. Pene Shabbat Nekabla. Line 6 is easy. It's Par O. Judy read that the last page was Far O. This is Par O. And Marcy will give you line 7.
Pari Hadama.
Don't forget to pronounce that aleph. So that's Ha-Adama,
Oh, okay. I
right?
thought it's sometimes really hard to read the vowels, so that's
Yeah,
gotta,
it is.
okay,
It is.
so because there's a shad. Okay,
Ha-Adama, because there's a
Adama.
vowel underneath it. Whereas when we read Nishbati, has the shva underneath it, right? But this is an a vowel underneath.
Yeah.
It's a patach. So and pri ha'adama is what we say is the part of the blessing we say when we eat fruit from the ground, or
Beret.
vegetable, as we call it, beret, right? So, oh, sorry, Judy, I'm going to take it away from you. Go ahead, Judy, line 8.
Bore, Pari, Dama.
Perfect. Okay, Karen F, line 9. Actually, let's do line 9 and line 10. They are different in a very slight way, but I'll let you do both.
Okay, Pari,
Pre,
Ha, Naga, Nan,
Hageh,
Ga, Bore, Pori, Hagafen.
right. So 9 is pre-Hagefen. 10 is Bore, pre-Hagafen. All right. Now it's messy when we all read together, but it doesn't matter. That's what we're going to do on the bottom. Okay. Just because. All right. Baruch
Ata,
Adonai
Eloheinu,
Melech
Ela,
haolam borei peri hagafen.
Hagafen.
All right. So that's the last part of Kiddush. The last part of the blessing of Kiddush. On Saturday morning, and in Friday night, it's kind of in the middle of the blessing. But now you have that. So you have candles, you have wine, and we will go from there. So we learned 4 letters today. We learned page 37, Gimel. Page 38, we learned Fe and final Fe. And 39, we learned Pei. There are very, very few instances where Pei comes at the end of the word, but they would still use that final. But I've only seen it in maybe 2 words in my whole life. It doesn't happen all that often. And I couldn't tell you what these words are now. But I'll ask my mom comes home Sunday, I'll ask her, and I'll let you know. Any questions? The Pei and the Fei, often confused. The Gimel, often confused for Nun. So just be careful and be aware. The Dalet and the Resh are still tripping people up, and that's okay, because they are very similar. But yeah.
Take out a dreidel.
Take a So yeah, they are on the dreidel together. That's actually pretty funny. I didn't think about that. And if you have an Israeli dreidel, the Pei is on the dreidel also, because it's Nes Gadol Haya Po,
Oh,
which
here.
means a great miracle happened here, and the Pei is on the dreidel. So 3 of those letters are on the dreidel. So good, I could call this lesson like, I feel like I run a podcast. Like I could call this lesson the Hanukkah lesson, the dreidel lesson.
That's funny.
Oh,
Is the next page a review, or it looks like the bad introduces another letter, so.
I think we're introducing another letter there. That's why I don't want to go on.
No, I sometimes you send a review when there's a lot of words like that, but this is a different.
Gotcha. I actually have from last semester recorded all 3 of these pages. So you're going to get all 3 of these pages, which is nice.
Great.
So I was looking at it before to see. Karen, you have a question.
Yeah, so I was so excited. I was waiting to hear when you said the blessing, you spoke the blessing. I was really excited and waiting to hear you're doing it what would you call it, a singing kind of way?
The blessing for what? Lighting the candles?
Whatever the last blessing, I don't even remember which blessing it was.
So blessing for
but
lighting the candles, it's
candles.
funny. I do not sing it. I say it. My brother sings it, and he sings it to the tune of the Hanukkah blessing.
Okay, because I have been told that you're not supposed to sing it to the tune of the Hanukkah blessing, and that there's another one. So is there a right or wrong? And when you do find the right or wrong, will you be able to?
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Actually, it's a
Once your
different
brain
melody.
has it one way, I want to do it the correct, because when I go to my friend's house, she grew up at a Jewish day school, so I'm pretty sure she has it the correct way. And when I go to her house and then I come home, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to remember to retrain my brain.
Who sings it of you ladies?
I
Who
do,
sings it?
and I
You
use
do,
two
Marcy,
different
and what tune do
melodies.
you use?
For Hanukkah, I do
Not Hanukkah, though. Shabbat.
For Shabbat, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay, I've
So,
heard that. And
that's how
do
we
you
do
do the
it.
same tune or a different one? You don't sing it. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, that's the one I've heard, Marcy, most often, I would say. Yeah. So I'll find out, Karen, and I'll let you know.
Okay, I think that would be like the more traditional one, and then
There's
That's the
another
only one I know.
I think we do it like Hanukkah.
I'll ask.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't sing those. That's very funny. I grew up in an Israeli house, and we used to say the blessing, and then my mother would say other blessings afterwards, and she never taught us what they were. And I asked her, she goes, oh, every time it was something different, I would, so it wasn't, and I obviously didn't pay attention to know that she was just praying for whatever she wanted to pray for at that moment. So if Israel was in a conflict, she was praying for Israel. If somebody was sick, she was praying for them. She just added on her own blessing afterwards. So, yeah.
Lymor, it could
sang
be
it, though,
something like matzo balls, and some people like them and small and large and soft and
Right.
you know what I mean? Like there's no right, and the same thing with latkes.
Right. There's no right way. Exactly. Or,
old latkes?
Halloween's coming up. So there's no wrong way to
Yeah.
use this, right? And here I go talking about food again.
Can I ask Judy Schwartz a question? Judy, weren't you the one that told us about that My Jewish Learning website?
Yes.
So I signed up for that, and every day I'm getting emails from them, but they're about different Jewish topics. I know you had sent something about a word for the day. And
There's also one for a word for the day. Let me see if
You
I
probably have to look through the website. You signed up for just their daily thing. You probably have to look through the website and find the day of the word of the day, the Hebrew word of the day.
let me see if
I looked for it. I couldn't find it.
let me see if I can find it, because I keep the words in its own folder. Let me see if it will come up. Let me get my phone.
Yeah, you have to go to the Hebrew word of the day. Here's the link. Here's the
Oh.
link. I found it. I mean, I literally typed in my Jewish learning Hebrew word of the day and it came up. I didn't do anything spectacular, but there it is. And so you can either, you could sign up for just
Oh,
this
oh,
word of the
okay.
day.
So,
I
because I
found
was
it,
going to
Judy.
their
You found
website,
it?
doing the menu, and there's nothing that says my word for the day.
Yeah, so here it's like / Hebrew word of the day. So just, yeah, if you click on that link, you should be able to find it.
Today's word is Mirkas.
Which means center, like the center of town.
Yep. And yesterday's word was matana for gift.
Yeah,
They've got, it's great because you have to look at all the letters
right.
and the vowels. So it's sort of
That's good. So you
Try
can
to
Hebrew
sound it
review
out.
every day a little bit. So fun fact, when I was pregnant with my first, we wanted to name after my husband's aunt, Michelle, who had died before having children. And so we decided if it was a boy, if it was a girl, it would be Maya. And if it was a boy, it was going to be Matan. And my mother-in-law, who did not know Hebrew at all and was, very not traditionally Jewish, said, well, I'll just call him Matt. And I'm like, no, Matan means a gift. She's like, oh, well, then I definitely will call him Matan. He will be my gift. Like she was, and it was her first grandchild. So she was so excited about it.
Well,
That's
I
a
would
nice
really
story.
also recommend to people, if you're interested, to sign up for the My Jewish Learning Just site, because I'll just tell you, like they send you the most interesting topics. On October 25th, it was the history of the word anti-Semitism, which I found really interesting. Then they did Meet India's Largest Jewish Community, a guide to the many insults in the Talmud. What is Shemini Eretz? And today is, do Jews believe in magic? So it's kind of really interesting. It goes to some history stuff, and I'm just getting it.
And it's a blip. It takes 2 minutes to read. And it's
And it
something
gives
you
you a
read throughout the
recipe.
day and you feel like
It
you're
gives
doing
you-
something, you're learning something every day.
Right, and you
It
get
gives
some
you a
recipes.
it gives you a recipe, and it's just nice. It's 3 things, and you can delve into it if you want, or just read the little blurb.
There you go. All right, everyone have a great weekend. I'm going to go and get my COVID booster.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
thank you.
I just had a sore arm, so.
Yeah.
So
I
I
had no
had,
reaction.
knock on wood, I had no effects with the 4 shots before.
Okay.
Did you
So
get the
I'm-
flu shot yet?
I
Or you
got the
getting
flu
them
shot a
together? Okay,
month
good.
ago,
Good.
like the
got
Friday
it
before Rosh
today.
Hashanah, I got the flu shot and my doctor wanted me to wait 30 days. So that's why I waited till now to get the
Mhm.
COVID shot. And
They were smart.
I
'cause
did reverse.
separated them too. Everybody I know that got them at the same time did not feel well. So if you haven't done it yet, I would not get the flu shot. And the
well,
COVID
I'm diabetic, so I always ask my doctor everything. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to make a difference. I don't know, whatever. And it's funny because I have a new GP. My GP went out on leave because her husband's very sick. So I have a new GP and I've told her I'm diabetic. She's like, no, you're not, because she's looking at my blood results. I'm like, I know, I eat well, I take lots of meds. And I exercise. Like, you can't detect that I'm diabetic in my blood, but I am. And so I have to be I'm always very careful whenever somebody puts me on a new med or a new whatever.
Well, vaccinations can really mess with your blood sugar, even if you're regulated. It's
Right.
It's really, you
So
usually.
I actually, like yesterday and today, ate very well, like really watched everything I ate yesterday and today, and I exercised this morning. And then what I usually do, like I'll have the shot at, I think my appointment's at 3:15. So right before dinner, I take my blood sugar twice a day, but I'll take my blood sugar tonight 3 or 4 times before I go to bed, and I'll take it in the morning. And I'll probably have a scoop of peanut butter with a half a banana before I go to bed, just to regulate overnight my blood sugar. So yeah, it's crazy. I usually don't eat at night, but tonight I will. So I try to be, and again, if your blood sugar is messed up for the day, that is not gonna, it's when your blood sugar fluctuates a lot over time that you damage organs inside your body. If it happens one day, like because of the vaccine, okay, fine. It's like, kind of like you break one Jewish law to do another. That's the way I feel. I'm like, I'm breaking one medical thing to do another because one's more important than the other. But Marcy, last year I had, I turned 50 in June. So I got the shingle shot in mid-July. And then
What
they told me I had to get another one before December. And all of a sudden it was like the end of August. And I said to my doctor, okay, I need the flu, the COVID booster, and the shingles. She's like, okay, you have to wait 30 days in between each.
I can't.
She's like, I would do flu first, then I would do COVID, then I would do shingles. I'm like, okay, fine. Counting the days and everything. And the
my
shingle
doctor
shot
would
really,
say-
really like the shingle shot really like my arm puffed up every single time. It was so hard. Really
That's the worst.
The latest COVID, the whatever.
Bivalent.
that gave me
Bivalent.
a really super sore arm for like 3 days, but the flu shot, I had nothing. So it was weird, but my doctor said, despite what the CDC was saying, he recommended don't get them together because if you have a reaction, you don't know which one you reacted to, which made a lot of sense to me anyway.
Right. I mean, and listen, it depends. If you've been having the COVID shot, if you've been having the flu shot all along, then you hopefully won't have a reaction, but you never know. My husband never got the flu shot ever, ever, ever. And then last year, his doctor's like, you should be getting it, My husband's theory was, I'd rather get the flu than have the flu shot.
Oh,
But my husband turned 55. And so now his doctor's like, when you get older, you could have more, effects from it. So you should get it. So I don't know.
I have a special one now when you're 65 and over. So I got that one today. Because if you go to the typical place, they don't give you, I guess it's a super concentration or something. So
Gotcha.
since I turned 65 this year, I had to have that one.
The super
Yeah.
special one.
My one advice is just keep your arm moving. That
Right.
helps.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I do. I sit there in the car and I'm like this all the way home.
Just
Like
keep your arms moving.
moving my arm, because that does help.
Does.
I
It
took
does
my
help.
flu shot a few days ago and it was so sore. It felt like someone punched me in the arm. And then a friend of mine, she was congratulating me for something and she put her hand. I was like, oh my God, that's my flu shot.
I didn't have problems with the flu shot.
I didn't either. But I got it.
Unless I touched right there. but
Right. I
I'm
had the
not
second
get-
shingle shot the day before my nephew's bar mitzvah. So that was, everybody was hugging me.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
Oh God, oh God. Like,
Yeah, I got the shingles vaccine. They said that you couldn't have it until you turned 60. I go to the VA hospital and they said, no, not until you're 60.
No, I
And
got
so I
mine
got
when I
now
was-
it's 50.
Usually it's
And,
50.
Now it's 50 and pneumonia is 60.
Oh, maybe it was that. But anyway, I caught shingles 2 months later. And I'd never had it before. But it was pretty mild, but I still caught it. And I thought, what the heck?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my husband had shingles in his 30s and it was,
Yeah.
it was awful. It was
My
awful.
daughter had
And
it
they
in
were
her
like,
20s.
they were like, shingle shot. I'm like, yes, please. Like, I don't want to get shingles. It was
Isn't
so bad for
Isn't the
him.
shingles related somehow to the chicken pox?
Chicken pox.
Yes, it is.
It
You
is.
can
It's
only
called-
get shingles if you had the chicken pox.
No, I'm a dental hygienist, so I studied all this stuff. If it's herpes zoster virus, and once you have chicken pox, it's one of the only viruses, well, we don't know about COVID yet, but that stays in your body. It usually goes dormant in your cells, but it can break out as shingles. It can break out. That's what gives you a cold sore on your lip. It's the same strain, which they think is triggered by either stress or sun, but they're still studying it. Or it can be shingles. You won't ever get the chicken pox again. But yeah.
Now,
it-
Marcy, let me ask
in
you
your nerve
this.
cells.
For the kid, like my kids never got chicken pox. They got the chicken pox vaccine.
Right.
What happens? Is that a live vaccine? And does that give them the opportunity to be able to have shingles? Or no, or I don't know.
No,
I'm so curious about it.
Were live anymore. I thought they're all inactivated, but that's a question for your new.
I don't know, my
doctor.
daughter's 20, so she had it 15 years ago, so who knows?
Right,
But
Right.
I guess that's a question for her doctor, not for my
Right.
doctor.
right.
I'm
yeah.
so curious about that.
But if you,
Yeah, but
if you
where's-
ever have a cold sore, even if you never thought you had chickenpox as a kid, because it was maybe so mild you didn't notice, you had chickenpox, because that's the only way you can get that virus in your body that will give you a cold sore.
Gotcha.
For the first time 5 years ago, at the age of 55, I had the chicken pox because I never had it as a kid.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
They
no,
didn't
and were you
test you?
okay?
They never tested you for that to make sure?
You know what? I mean, when I was pregnant, I guess when I called my OBGYN and he said back in the day, there was no way to test me while I was pregnant to see if I had chicken pox.
Right.
That's odd, because when I worked at a children's hospital in the early 90s, they made you have a titer test to see if you had chickenpox, because otherwise they were going to vaccinate you.
That's so weird. So I gave birth in our daughter in 96 and then our twins in 98. And I guess that the OBGYN said they didn't test people or something. Is that bad?
Interesting.
And have you ever gotten cold sores, or you've never really gotten cold sores on your lips?
No, not cold. No, not cold sores. No. And so because I'm 60 now, I probably should get the shingle shot, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You should ask your doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
I know
I'm an
for me it was
accountant.
50, and it's pneumonia.
Marcy, what'd you say, Marcy?
For me, it was 50 for the shingles, and but I think they told me the pneumonia, Lymor, was 65, because I haven't had a pneumonia
Maybe.
shot yet.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
not 65.
I mean, they told me, but I was too far, I'm far away from that. So if I heard 60 instead of 65, that totally could be.
But you know, the cold sores in the mouth are not this same virus.
No,
It's the
inside
herpes.
the mouth is different than outside. There's two different kinds of tissues. It's called attached and unattached. And when you have a cold sore in your mouth, it's actually it's a different form of the virus, and it's on non-attached tissue. You'll never find a cold sore.
I
Cold
see.
sore
No,
like
no, no.
the bottom.
You know, I'm a periodontist, so
Oh, well, you know
on
more than me.
the unattached gingiva is aphthous ulcers.
Right,
And we
right.
don't know what the origin of them, and it's
Okay,
not virus.
down.
And but the unattached gingiva and on the lip are both from herpes.
Right, that's the herpes simplex.
Type 1,
Yeah.
different from type 2, which is genital, which is also different from chickenpox. It's varicella zoster.
Biology lesson.
Right. You got Hebrew, Jewish, and medical.
Virology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Well, have a great weekend, everybody. Shabbat shalom. And I
Shabbat
will
shalom.